Hey everybody, Mah-Dry-Bread here, and I'm sure you saw the title of the video. I am pretty abruptly moving. Okay, so I'm gonna try and break this vlog down into sections. I'm a little bit out of practice. I haven't done a vlog in a while, but I used to actually do weekly vlogs for like years, and then I stopped because no one watched them, because my show sucks. I'm gonna try and explain to you everything that's going on as succinctly as I can, and you guys know I'm bad at that. So I'm going to be breaking this down into kind of sections. First, it's why I'm moving abruptly. The second is like, where am I moving to? The third is, how will this affect the show? And the fourth is all about how I've been tweeting about how I have plans to move to America at some point, and how this very abrupt move that is about to happen is going to affect that. Because I'm not going to be like, I can't immigrate instantly, obviously. So save your questions for the end of the video, because I'm going to try my absolute best to answer everything that you guys might be asking. So I know that Herculean task of trying to predict everything that will be asked, but I'm going to try my best. Okay, so why am I moving abruptly? Basically, my landlord messaged us randomly like 2 weeks ago, maybe even less than 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I think it might have been like 1 week ago, a week and a half ago. Just randomly messaged us after years of living in just this little townhouse. It's an okay location, but it's pretty small, and the traffic is real loud, and there's like no natural light in here. It's a clean and it's an okay place, but it's really, really not ideal, and it's overpriced. But everything in Southern Ontario is overpriced. Anyway, he messaged me, and he said that he wants the unit back so that he can get a place for his niece, so he can help out his niece. That's a bummer. However, thankfully, we have the money to move now because my channel has taken off a lot. And so, I mean, we had to get around to getting out of this place eventually, right? And we've taken good care of the place. So, he gave us a pretty generous, like 4 or 5 months to move, and he said he would help us find a place if we need help. Because I actually really like our landlord. We really lucked out with this place. We got a good landlord. So, we actually ended up finding a place very, very quickly, just because we had experience looking for stuff before. And so, you know, fast forward a week and a half, 2 weeks to today, and just today we have been approved for a new place after having looked around, honestly not having to look around a ton before we found a place we really, really liked. Got a real estate agent we really liked, and we got the place pretty much instantly because of the money that I'm getting from YouTube now from my channel taking off. It's not like amazing money, but it's pretty life-changing compared to what I used to make. Like, again, before this, I was around the poverty line, and all of a sudden I'm making somewhat stable money. It's YouTube, so it can be unreliable at times. However, I am very diligent with saving money because I'm used to living lean, and so I'm really not too concerned, although this move is going to be expensive. I just signed for a new place today, and I will tell you about it in a moment. But the day that we get the keys for the new place is going to be February 5th. So the day that I'm recording this, and it should be the day that this is airing as well, if I have time to edit it, because I am rushing to work so much right now. It's in 8 days when we get the keys, and then we're going to start the slow process of moving. We have officially given our landlord our 60 days, because we don't need the full 4 months or whatever he originally gave us. So we're just going to do 2 months. And so by the end of March is what we agreed to. By the end of March, we'll be fully out of here, and we'll probably be living in the other place sooner than that. Okay, so where will I be moving? Just another place here in Southern Ontario, here in Oakville, which is the same town I already live in. It's only like 5 minutes down the road-ish. I guess it depends on traffic, but it's really not that far away. We still have all the same local stores and whatnot. We're still used to the area. It's still close to friends and family and everything, so it's really not that far away. We're just kind of hopping over a couple neighborhoods, and it's a nice neighborhood. We're actually really happy with the place. It's a house, but we don't get the whole house. It's a semi-detached, which it's getting a bit more common here in Canada. I'm sure some countries this is reasonably common. Probably in places where real estate is super expensive, like here in Canada. Especially here in Southern Ontario, which is very expensive. So it's like a house, but the two halves of the house, like it's an enormous house, but the two halves are not connected outside of like, it's in the same building. There's no like door internally that goes between them. And it's a full house with like a semi-finished basement, a ground floor, and a second floor. And it has, you know, like a driveway and a garage. And then right next to that is another garage and another driveway that would be, you know, part of my neighbor's house. And they've already moved in a while ago, I think. When we were in there, it was super quiet. I didn't hear the neighbors at all, even though they had already been moved in. The place is really nice. It is genuinely one of the nicest places, possibly the nicest place I will have ever lived, in terms of like it's modern and it's nice and it's clean. And I don't think I really need to worry about the landlord ever needing the place back, considering, according to the real estate agent, the landlord bought the place specifically just to rent it out. So it's probably never going to get hoisted out from under me. It's not furnished at all, but that's okay. We have some stuff that we can move over and furnish the place a bit. So I'm excited for that. That's going to be nice. That's going to be a huge upgrade. It is very expensive compared to the current place, but the current place is also very expensive. It's going to be just under 3,000 Canadian dollars a month for rent, but considering we're paying our own gas, we're paying our own heating and cooling and electricity and like all of that stuff, internet obviously, the monthly bills are going to be well over 3,000 Canadian dollars a month, which is a lot of money. However, honestly, it's not much more than I already pay for this much smaller place. And also, everything is very expensive in Southern Ontario. If you're going to live anywhere with even decent internet, it is going to be a very, very expensive neighborhood. It's just the unfortunate fact of how Southern Ontario is, and I can't just go jumping province randomly on such short notice, especially when I have a family to take care of. You know, I want to be close to my mom, I want to be close to my sister, stuff like that. So you know what? I'm fairly happy with this decision. I think it's going to work out well. Okay, section 3, how will this affect the show? So, this is going to affect the show in 2 major ways. The first way is that I'm going to have much worse internet moving here. Even though it's only like 5 minutes away, my neighborhood where I'm in right now has fiber optic internet. My internet plan is ridiculous. It's really expensive. It's like 130 Canadian dollars a month or something, which is absurd, but internet is really expensive in Canada in general. We have bad monopoly issues with companies, and so stuff like this is usually very, very expensive, and you don't have much selection. There's pretty much always one company that is very dominant in each area. It's very, very expensive, but I get like a gigabit per second download and upload. It's crazy, and like it actually is that when I do speed tests. It's wild how good it is, and it is incredibly useful for me because obviously my show is based on the internet. When I moved to this new place, the best internet that they have in that neighborhood is only 100 megabytes download, 10 megabytes upload, unlimited data. It's a little bit over half the price, so it's still really expensive actually. It's like $90 a month. It's still really expensive for a service that is like 1,000 times worse. I just hope the internet's stable. It probably will be because it's underground cables, so it should be stable even in bad weather, so that's really important to me. Download being 100 means it's 10 times worse than my current download, but I don't really care. I barely download anything, and download speed isn't really that important to me. What's important to me is upload speed, which is annoying because that's, 100 times worse? Going from a gigabit per second upload to 10 megabit per second upload. That's like 100 times worse or something. I don't know. Head math, and I have aphantasia, so I can't picture things in my head, so don't rely on my head math. That's much, much worse. So how will that affect the show? Not a ton. Twitch only accepts 6 megabit per second streams anyway. So that, you know, if I have 10 and they accept 6, that's plenty of headroom to keep streaming at the same quality that I already do, so that shouldn't be affected. What is affected is the speed at which I upload. Because when I upload my videos, what I do is there's a scheduled thing you can do on YouTube where you upload a series of videos and you tell YouTube what day and time you want it to go live. It's really, really great because then I can have all my videos done on Sunday night. I, render them all out. I upload them all Sunday night. I do the descriptions, I do the end cards, I do all that stuff. And then I don't need to upload a video every single day manually. It saves you a whole bunch of time. Well, that uploading process right now, I'm uploading 50 to 100 gigabytes every single week. And that only takes an hour and a half for all that to upload. Now, with this way slower internet for upload, I'm probably just going to have to overnight it. It'll probably take a solid 8 hours or something, and I'll just have it go overnight. I can preemptively do the descriptions of the times, and then when I wake up in the morning, you know, brush my teeth, go to the bathroom, have a shower, that stuff, and then I would do the end cards because that has to happen after it's processed. Honestly, it's going to be the internet difference is going to be very small in how you see it affect you guys. It's little quality of life annoying things for me, but it's not the end of the world, and I could see sometime while we live there, them upgrading the neighborhood to fiber optic, just because there's fiber optic like 5 minutes away, you know? So, maybe it'll upgrade at some point, but for now, that's going to be the best we can get over there, so that's a bit of a bummer. The other way that it affects the show. Okay, and I have like paragraphs written down here, so excuse me if I refer to my notes a little bit on this monitor for this one. For the next little while, I'm probably going to be only uploading 1 video a day. Now, I've been doing a video a day minimum for like 8.5 years now, something like that. Since like 2011. I forget how the months like. I think it's actually March of 2011. I've got it written down somewhere. So nearing 9 years, something like that. Oh, that's crazy. But often I would do more than a video a day, as I'm sure you guys have noticed. The last couple weeks I've only been doing a video a day. And I think I'm going to keep it that way just for a little while, because between packing and planning moving and literally moving and doing all these Pokemon challenges, which I know you guys really, really want, and the Let's Play videos, which I really, really want, because I think the Let's Play videos are my funniest content by far. I love the Let's Plays. It's a lot of work, you know? Now, I know, even though I said leave your comments for the end of the video, some people are already probably scrambling to comment saying, take a break, it's okay, man, because everybody says that anytime I say anything about this on Twitter. Because I talk about this fairly often on Twitter, just like, you know, what the upload schedule is going to be, and just saying like, hey, sorry guys if it's a little sparse this week. It's also why the series have been kind of all over the place. Like, there's been a lot of different things coming up, and series have been having a hard time continuing. They will all continue. Don't worry about that. It's just about when I have time to record with people, because I'm busy and other people are busy. People are going to tell me to take a break. I've done a really long rant on this before on Twitter, and I don't want to do the rant a billion times or anything, because I know that when people ask that, their hearts are completely in the right place. So I don't hold it against anyone. But as a rule of thumb, a lot of YouTubers, myself included, find it incredibly annoying to be told to take a break when we do this for a living. I'm just going to refer to my notes here because I probably worded it much more eloquently over there. All right, here's where I wrote it. I'm not going to just stop doing my job, even if 100% of my audience completely understands the break and is 100% okay with it and supportive of it. I have bills to pay, especially during a move, and YouTube's algorithm will seriously stop promoting my whole channel if I take a break. Seriously, YouTube's algorithm does not like inactivity. It would be career suicide to take a break. Twice ever, I missed a weekly upload of my Pokemon challenge. Twice in the last like 5 months that I've been doing them. Twice, I missed a week. Just 1 week. Both times, I believe, was when I did a Gen 5 run, actually, because the Gen 5 runs are incredibly slow because of the leveling system in it. Is incredibly punishing if you have to just super level one thing. And then basically anytime you need to over level, Gen 5's leveling system heavily punishes you, and that's why both Gen 5 ones took really long, which is probably why I'm never going to do a Gen 5 challenge again. It's just, it's too slow. It is way too slow to warrant doing. YouTube punished me hard. It took a month to recover in the YouTube algorithm both times. After I put those out, it took 1 month to start getting subscribers and views and income at the same rate that I did before missing that week. That's really bad for my career. And, you know, the money isn't just for me. The money is for my family. Like, I have people to take care of outside of me. And so it's really important that I don't tank my channel like that, you know? Like, I need to be able to get enough money that in the event that my channel ever becomes really unpopular or anything like that, that I'm okay and that my family is okay. And so just taking a break, not only does that stress me out because I love working and I love my job, and what makes me happy and relaxed at the end of the day is seeing a full render queue of all the work that I got done during the day. Inactivity stresses me out. I want to work. Please do not tell me to take a break. I understand that your heart is in the right place. It genuinely pisses me off, and it pisses off a lot of YouTubers. So yeah, Anyway, that is the last of how this will affect the show, is just less videos for a little while, but still a video a day. And maybe some uploads might end up happening a little bit later than they normally would, but still the same day, simply because my internet won't be as good once I've moved. Last section, because this is the section that everybody always interrogates me on. You guys have probably seen in some of the videos and in a lot of tweets I've talked before over the last few months about how I've been considering moving to America for a long time. This is something I've been considering for many, many years. It's just a lot more possible now. So the big question I get is, are you still moving to America? And the answer is, yeah, probably, eventually, just a little bit later than I planned on. I was hoping to move in a year, or maybe 2 years or less. That might have to get delayed now, just because, there's immigration and everything, and I need to start the process, but this move is expensive, and I'm going to have, less money every month because of this, and so it's hard to start the process. It's the kind of thing that delays you, There are many, 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 many questions that result every single time I bring this up, so I'm going to try and answer as many of them as I can in as short of a period as a time as I can, but also while still being somewhat thorough so that I don't have a massive interrogation in the comments section. Number 1, why America? Many reasons, but here's the simplest one that I'm sure everyone can just kind of get when they hear it, because I like the country for a lot of reasons, and yeah, I like a lot of states for a lot of reasons. There's lots of states that I like, and there's lots of states that I don't like, and obviously a big part of moving to the United States is about picking what state you like, considering it's a country where every state is pretty different. I don't like places like California. It's way too much like here in Southern Ontario. Everything's very, very expensive, and everything's very, very big city. Unless you want to live out in the countryside, which we have here in Canada, and you guys have there in California if you live in the north. However, then you just have the crazy high taxes and none of the benefit of modern convenience, and so it's the worst of both worlds. Let's not do that. Anyway, let me put it to you like this. To buy a decent 2-story house where I could raise a family where I live here in Southern Ontario is over $1 million. Over $1 million if I would like to purchase a house and become a landowner. Only landowner in my family, or at least my close family, my family that I know of. We're a small family. In fact, the only landowner that I personally know is my landlord. My God, housing is expensive here. Over $1 million if I want to purchase a proper 2-story house here where I can raise a family. I could go to a place like North Carolina in the United States. I could genuinely buy a proper house of the same quality for 1/5 of the price, have less income tax, and literally half of the sales tax. Their sales tax is about 7% depending on the city. Sales tax here is 14%. Also, the price of all goods are cheaper down there, and so simply the cost of living is less than 1/5 overall than what it is here. That's the kind of place where in 5 years, I could buy 2 houses. I could buy my mom a whole house down there in the same neighborhood as a house that I buy there. I'd save up and buy my sister a house there. Seriously, the price of housing down there is so cheap and the quality of life is so good. It is unbelievable. Question number 2, the thing that everybody says when I say it's cheaper down there. They always say, but healthcare. I did some math on that. I did a lot of research, because if you're going to immigrate to a country, you should do research, Pretty much what I found in terms of the price of private healthcare and health insurance and stuff like that in the United States, as long as you shop around and you're careful and you don't go just getting the first thing you find, I would literally have to break all of my limbs multiple times in the same year for the healthcare costs to outweigh just moving there and having life there be cheaper than where I currently live. That's how expensive it is where I live. Considering I'm not Evel Knievel, I'm not really concerned about breaking all of my limbs multiple times in a year, and so I'm not really worried about the healthcare costs. As long as I'm not dumb and I actually shop around and pick good health insurance, there is no possible way that the healthcare there could be more expensive than all the money I save by not being in Southern Ontario, Canada. Question number 3, where would I move to in America? Probably Raleigh, North Carolina. I've been doing a lot of research on a lot of states, and And Georgia also is very, very appealing, but I'm kind of thinking that North Carolina is more my speed. I have a lot of friends there, which is very nice. A lot of people who both live there, have lived there, and have traveled there really, really like North Carolina. I like North Carolina. The weather is a lot like where I live, actually, even though it's much farther south. I live in kind of a freak weather area. The weather down there is very, very similar. You have an extra hour of daylight because the sun rises half an hour earlier and sets half an hour later. The sunlight would be nice because I have a shortage of vitamin D because I get no sunlight in this place, and I take supplements and it's not enough. So that'd be nice. The weather is nice. The housing prices are cheap. And Raleigh just seems like a really nice place. Lower crime rate than here in Ontario, Canada. Better quality of living. The price of housing is really cheap. It's got modern city convenience while still having nice rural residential places that aren't like totally rural, you know? It has nature and trees and grass like here in Canada, which is real nice. They have big funding for the arts, and that only happens in places that are fairly well off, because if you can't, you know, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if you can't meet your basic needs, you're not going to museums and art galleries, you know? And although I'm not really an art gallery kind of guy, I'm perhaps more of a simple person than that at heart, the fact that that's around is a good sign that things are well off there. The poverty line is better than here. There's less homeless, and there's less people below that poverty line there. Just everything about the quality of life there is better, and it's way cheaper. So probably Raleigh, North Carolina. Question number 4. It's not really a question, it's a statement, but I see this all the time when I say I'm considering moving to America. They always say, move to my country, it's better. That's almost word for word what it usually is. And here's what I'll say before you leave your comment. Please Google your local real estate prices. 1, 2, tax, 3, quality of internet. Every person who has ever said that exact sentence to me or anything close to it, they clearly didn't bother doing any of this research. Because when I Google where they are, because they usually tell me like, I don't know, Perth. Some guy was saying this from Perth recently in Australia. I search their real estate prices and I look for equivalent houses, and what I find is the price is usually 4 times higher, the tax is usually roughly double, and the quality of internet is usually much worse. Either that or it's literally a third world country. Usually people who tell me move to my country, it's better, are either other people in Canada, which is baffling that they don't know I'm in Canada when I'm saying I'm from Canada, or it's from Australia, which has the exact same problems as Canada. Australia and Canada are very similar countries in a lot of ways. And so, yeah, that's frustrating. Also, I know I can literally afford like a mansion in like Uganda, but Ugandan fans, I know you guys really like Uganda and everything, and that's cool. I'm happy you've got national pride, but come on, guys. You know I'm not moving to Uganda. Like, do you really think Fancy Pants Mr. YouTube guy here is gonna cut it in Uganda? No. I'd get my dumb ass kicked day 1. I don't understand Ugandan culture. Come on. And lastly, someone will always inevitably say, but politics. And they'll name whatever political party they don't like. Look, if you think a country isn't worth moving to based on whatever party they most recently voted in, and you can't come up with any good reason outside of that, whether that be the United States or the UK or Hungary or wherever you are, I think you don't know enough about the country at hand and what makes someone want to move there. I know a lot of people don't like the political parties in charge of some of these countries that I just named. However, the United Kingdom and the United States have massive immigration rates. Everybody wants to move there. Because you know what? Whether they like the people in charge or not, there's a lot more that goes into a country being good than just the government and whatever political party is in there for the current 4 years that they'll probably be in before everyone flip-flops the other way. A country is full of people and culture and goods that are locally produced and different styles of restaurant, and there are 1,000 things that go into making a country special and unique and appealing to a person that have nothing to do with the government or how the populace voted or anything like that. So that's not gonna keep someone from moving to a country. Not if they truly are interested in the country. I just listed so many reasons why America is a good country for me, specifically a place like North Carolina, why it really suits my needs, and it would be really great for me and for my family. And so whether or not you like whoever's been elected in whatever place, that shouldn't keep you from moving to a country. Anyway, I think that I probably answered everything you could possibly want to know. That was a joke. You're probably going to come up with 1,000 questions that I did not perceive happening at all. So I'll be hanging out in the comments section as usual, answering questions. I check my comments way too many times a day, but I have fun responding to people and reading comments and tweets and all that kind of stuff. If you want to help with the move and everything, I don't know, share my show with a friend because views equal money, and that's great. And I love when the show grows and when you spread the love and people have fun with it. Maybe check out the Let's Plays because I still think the Let's Plays are the best stuff that I do on the channel by far. I love the Pokemon challenges, but man, the Let's Plays. Improv comedy is where my heart is, and teaching people about video games that I'm passionate about. And that is just my favorite thing to do. So if you've never checked out the Let's Plays, just check them out. They're so much fun. I love them to death. Maybe do Deadly Premonition, or do that Nancy Drew Shadow at Water's Edge Let's Play, or 7 Days to Die. There's like, I've done 1,000 genres over the years, and 2019 was such a good year for my Let's Plays of just so much stuff coming out that I'm really, really proud of. So many good Let's Plays. The new Hitman Let's Play that just started coming out, Hitman 2, that one gets hysterical fast, and I love it. So maybe check them out, but if you want to throw money my way, you don't have to. It's a free show. Don't feel obligated. But if you really want to, I've got a tip jar on my Twitch TV streams. I stream on Twitch whenever I get free time. It's linked in the description. And also, I have a Patreon page. My rewards suck. I've been trying to come up with good rewards for years and years and years, but no matter what I pick, it never seems to change the number. It's a bunch of people support me, and when I DM them to ask them, like, okay, I need this info so I can give you rewards, 80% of the people are just like, no, man, don't worry about it. I just want to support you. So, all right, man. I got rid of most of the rewards that are a pain in the ass to keep up with that no one liked anyway. And I just take the money and keep making you the best show that I can make. I just bought a cam link right here. With some of the Patreon money, I just bought a cam link. And I have a nice quality camera over there that I bought from Bob Wolf, my friend over at the Wolf Den. Great YouTube channel. He's a friend of mine. I bought one of his old cameras that's really nice. And I'm going to use this cam link with that sometime to start bringing you better quality visuals on these vlogs, which I hope to do more often. And probably on the streams from time to time, maybe not every time, because the webcam is still very convenient because I don't need to like change batteries in it and stuff. But you might be having higher quality stuff too, and soon. And that's what Patreon's for. It's for upgrading the show so that you guys have a funner time watching it. It's also what paid for that preamp I got recently that upgraded the audio quality even more. A real fancy preamp. It's a nice one. Microphone stuff for anyone who doesn't know what the hell a preamp is. It makes microphone sound good. Trust me. Anyway, I have so much work to do. I am working so hardcore on this next Pokemon challenge. I'm editing a babies challenge in Gen 2. I was working on a Pikachu challenge in Emerald earlier today. I gotta record more Let's Plays with Brandon in about an hour, and I've gotta edit like crazy and then start packing, and I need to edit this vlog. Good God, I am going to be a busy, busy man. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.